Good afternoon, listeners of Radio 9, and welcome to Fonzleclay Radio. So I've got my special guest for today here in the studio with me. Those of you that read the posts on Facebook and on Twitter will know who today's guest is, so I'm just going to go straight into it. Would you please welcome the legendary man that is Walt Donna? Thank you very much. Walt, it's great to see you again. I cannot tell you how great it is. This must be quite strange for you being interviewed, because normally you're the one in the interviewer's seat. Well, yes. I mean, when you're doing things such as I am, and you're working so closely on doing documentaries and things like that, and you end up interviewing quite a few people, when you get interviewed yourself, once you start to get noticed, you do find yourself judging other people's methods. No pressure, Dan, just sort of, I don't know, just taking little bits from their method and just thinking, yes, I could possibly use that sometime. Things like that, and I think that's the strangest thing for me. Yeah, but I suppose interviewing isn't really your strong point or your specialty. Well, it isn't. I mean, I'm mostly doing presenting, just sort of being the spokesperson for whatever it is that I'm working on. But occasionally, yes, I do interviews, like Just Dandy, for example. I interviewed you and your friends that were included in that. Let's talk a little bit about Just Dandy, because you weren't in the studio for long, were you? You came in for a one-day shoot that took a couple of hours. We did the parts and we left, and we didn't really get much time to hang out or anything like that. When I watched the final product on YouTube, when you put that out, I was very, very impressed. Just knowing that it was you that did all the editing and directing and producing, and you wrote it yourself, and it was all about you. You're just a fantastic person, a very talented person. And when I watched that back, I was just so pleased with the results. You did a fantastic job, and I was just very privileged to have been a part of that. And I think I played my part nicely in that one. So what are you actually working on at the minute? At the minute, I'm working on a documentary about my car. I drive a Morris Minor, and one day I was on the set of Top Gear, just as a member of the studio audience, and I got a chance to speak to Jeremy Clarkson about my Morris Minor, and I said that I worked in television and doing documentaries, and he said, well, if you're working in the entertainment business, presenting documentaries, and you drive a Morris Minor, that's ITV material right there. And I think the words he said was that the BBC wouldn't buy it, but the ITV would absolutely love it. Alright, well, can you put a good word in for me to Jeremy, because we've been trying to get him on this programme for ages, and he's just not been responding. Yes, I will try. So when can we see the finished product? That's coming out in March of next year. We started writing together, and we produced together, and we've actually started shooting that now. So that'll be available on ITV2 in March of next year. Fantastic. Anyway, something else that I wanted to talk about was the time that you get to yourself. Because obviously you're away a lot, shooting, recording, I should say, not shooting as a sport. You don't seem like the sort of guy that would be into that. Anyway, you spend a lot of time away from home recording stuff. I'm just wondering, how much time do you actually get to spend to yourself, and what do you do with that time? Well, I suppose when I'm doing things like Just Dandy, just using that as an example again, where it only took one day to shoot, it was just a case of going to work. You know, I drove to work that morning and then came home to my family. When I'm working on something larger, a larger project, I take my family with me. We go in the camper van, and we just drive up to, say, a campsite near wherever it is that we're shooting. We just stay in a campsite, and whenever I'm not working, we get a chance to sightsee, and we treat it as a holiday, more or less. So, would you say that Only Way is Luton, for example, was a big project? Yes, it was. Although Luton wasn't a particularly wasn't exactly a holiday resort, but we still treated it as a holiday. I think that was a lot of fun to do. Actually, I really enjoyed that one. Right. Anyway, I've got some quickfire questions for you now. These come from various people. The first one is, how do you like your cheese? Well, I don't know. I like cheese, but I'm not much of a cheese fanatic. I suppose grated in a sandwich, that's quite nice. Okay, another one. Do you like chicken? I do, yes. Yes, I like chicken, yes. How many burgers can Victoria Beckham eat before she becomes visible to the human eye? Oh dear, I probably a lot, I would say. What is your favourite colour? Do you like green? I do like green, but I wouldn't say it was my favourite colour. I quite like uncommon colours, I suppose, like beiges and khakis, things like that. I tend to wear jackets that colour. Okay, and the last one, do you like cats? Yes, I do like cats, and I have a cat called Sophie. Excellent. Anyway, I want to know a little bit more about your family, because I know you have a family, but you never really talked about them until today. Yes, I have a partner called Beth. We met in university, so that must have been about 7 years ago, and we moved in together shortly after we graduated from university, and then we have a daughter, a 3-year-old daughter called Emma. Any plans of a marriage? We've thought about it, but it hasn't really gone any further than just thought about it. We haven't ever planned a marriage. We just decided that it was a thing that we wanted to do someday when we had enough money and I was doing less work, which is a day which doesn't seem possible at the minute. But when the day comes, that's when we'll start planning the wedding. Right, so you've got something you want to play for us now? Yes. I just want to play you a short audio clip of what we've got so far on the Volkswagen documentary. So we'll just play that now. Okay then, here is an audio clip from Volkswagen, Mr. Donna's up-and-coming documentary to be released next March. Walt just came to me as a bright, well-spoken, teenage British boy who was very intelligent, and I could see from his clear enthusiasm. He'd done research, and he checked everything, his bank account against the insurance and how much everything would cost, and he just realized that this was the car that he wanted. It was definitely a want from the beginning, and it was a car that just simply screamed at me. I had to have one. Fantastic, and you can hear more of that on ITV2 next March. Walt, did you travel here in the minor today? I did, yes, came up in the minor, and then I'm going home straight after this. Walt, it's been great having you here. I hope that we get to spend some more time together soon, and just hang out one-to-one, in the future. So there we go. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Walt Donna. Thank you very much.